Hello friends, today I want to talk about my 2017 favourites. I don't often do favourites videos, but I figure as it's the end of the year, or probably the beginning of the year when you're watching this, I would talk about the things that I have loved this year. And also stay tuned till the end of the video because I'm doing a little giveaway of one of the things that is featured in this video. So normally when I do favourites videos I just kind of pick things out of random and they're probably quite frustrating to watch, so I'm going to try and organise it a little bit, and I'm going to start with skincare / body stuff and then I'm going to do makeup. So let's start with skincare. My favourite thing probably that I discovered this year is this, which is the Skin Iceland Pure Cloud Cream. This is a moisturiser that smells of oranges. It's amazing. You only really need a tiny little bit of it. It's really moisturising, and this was actually something that I used to see Jamie Genevieve talk about a lot in her videos, and she, I think, had more combo oily skin and I'm very dry, but this is so nice. It's so lightweight and I use it as kind of the last step of my skincare before I put makeup on. So my all-time favourite moisturiser is the Lush Celestial. I put that on. I also put on a face oil, and then this I put on right before I do my makeup, and it just adds a bit of extra hydration. Not really one for primers. I don't really think they prolong the length of my makeup that much, but I do need the extra hydration because I'm very dry and I love this. The next thing I discovered this year was, actually that is not the right bottle, was this. The Vitamin E Hydrating Spray, or Hydrating Mist from Superdrug. Now I think it's now called the Toning Mist, I'm not 100% sure, but I really like this, and I use this kind of like, it's meant to be a dupe for Fix Plus. I use it just before I put facial oil on, although at the moment I'm using another one which I'm going to talk about in a minute, but I love this one, and I love it to spritz on after I've done my makeup, just to settle down powders. Love this, and it's really affordable. And also in that range is the Vitamin E Gentle Micellar Water. I've tried a couple of micellar waters and they broke me out, including the B Superdrug one. That really sort of brought up all rashy bits here. It was really painful, so I really only use this sort of to correct my eyeliner when I mess it up, which is basically every time I wear eyeliner. But yeah, this is really nice, and if I'm just in the morning, sometimes I'll just run it over my face. If I don't have much time to do like a full cleanse and everything, I will just sort of run this over my face, which probably isn't the best thing ever, but it does remove makeup. Nip and Fab glycolic pads. These are like a chemical exfoliating pad. They say that they are exfoliating facial pads to retexture and brighten skin. These are nice just to exfoliate. I get a really dry nose, so even after I've cleansed I will use one of these just to sort of make my nose a bit less dry. It makes foundation sit on them a bit nicer. They're really good for when you don't want to use like a physical exfoliant. If you've ever tried the Pixie Glow Tonic, similar idea, but in a pad. They also do those in pads, but they're a lot more expensive than the Nip and Fab ones. Next up is Lush's Aroma Water. This is a toner with a spray. It's got lavender in. It's really nice. I put this on after my moisturiser and then I put a facial oil straight on top of it. And you can also use this to spritz over when you've done like all your makeup and you want to settle down powders. It's really nice for that. And the facial oil that I have been liking, making a mess here, trying to put things back as I go. The facial oil I've been really liking is this one. This is from Waitrose, and I don't know if you're going to be able to see it because the lighting sucks right now. So this is the Waitrose Pure Hydration Facial Oil. Waitrose's own skincare all has Leaping Bunny certification, and they mark on the back of most things if they are vegan friendly, which this is. It's about £3 or £4. I'm pretty sure it's under a £5. And it's really nice, and I put this on just before I put my cloud cream on. I don't generally use this at night because I tend to use rosehip oil at night, just pure rosehip oil, but this is really nice before makeup, or if you've got quite a heavy foundation you can mix a few drops in, and that sort of will sheer it out a bit. That's really nice. Next up is this. This is the Lacura, I'm not sure how you say it, hot cloth cleanser. Now this is Aldi's own brand of skincare, which apparently they're in the process of getting Leaping Bunny for. All of their household stuff already has that. This is a dupe for ONSALE Cleanse and Polish, and it's a really, really good dupe, except it's vegan, unlike the Cleanse and Polish, and it's £4. The only problem with this is it's not a permanent item. They bring it out with a limited run and everyone goes mad for it, and then it goes away. Once it's sold out, it's gone until it comes back. So apparently it was out in stores around June, July time, and it's sold out really quick. And then I heard it was coming back, and so I thought, right, I'm going to try and get my hands on it. It's sold out online by lunchtime the day it came back. So I went into my local Aldi and I found it and I picked up 4. And then someone asked me to get them a couple because they couldn't find it in their local Aldi. So I went in and I bought 2 more. So I'm set for quite a while, but I really like this. I mean, smell-wise, texture-wise, it is basically spot on for the ONSALE one, which was my favourite cleanser ever. And it was probably the last thing that I gave up, really. When I went vegan, I was really sad to have to give it up. So I'm really pleased that I found this, and hopefully they'll bring it back. I think we need to all bombard Aldi with emails and say, please make it permanent, because it's amazing. Deodorant. So deodorant's been a bit of a chore, trying to find one that I like as much ever since I gave up Mitchum. And I was using the Salt of the Earth spray, which was okay, but I have to say, when I got a bit sweaty, I'm going to overshare here, but when I got a bit sweaty, it would smell really weird, like onions weird, and I'd be saying to Simon, I smell like onions, what's going on? So anyway, in my vegan kind box I then got one of those deodorants that's like a paste, the natural deodorants, and I put that on and I went downstairs and I was like, look, I've got my new deodorant on. And Simon went to me, oh babe, you're a bit red under there. So I had a look, and the whole of my underarm was bright red, like bright red. So I thought, right, I better not use that anymore. So I just went back to my Salt of the Earth, and as soon as I sprayed my Salt of the Earth on, my armpits started to burn. Anyway, a week later was my hen do, and my armpits were on fire, and I just went back to like a cheapo deodorant, and I put it on and my armpits were burning, absolutely burning. They were bright red, they were so sore. And so when I came back from my hen do, I basically didn't wear deodorant for a while, including a day trip to London to get our wedding rings. And it was so hot and sweaty, I felt disgusted. I sat on the train like this. I smell so bad. Anyway, I bought this deodorant. This is what this long ramble is to tell you. That I bought this deodorant because it said it was sensitive, and I thought maybe that'll be okay in a couple of days when it's gone down a bit. And it was, and actually I really, really like this deodorant. This is the best one that I have tried since I gave up Mitchum, and it is Superdrug's own sensitive antiperspirant 48-hour deodorant, less white mark, 0 alcohol with aloe vera. I've tried Superdrug's own brand before and thought they were absolute shite, but this, I really like this. So if you're struggling to find a good deodorant, give this a try, and if you prefer a roll-on, I'm pretty sure they do a roll-on. Roll-on. That came out weird. My next favourite is a Lush thing, and it is the Twilight stuff. So I'm in love with the smell of this sleepy lotion. Please ignore the fact that it says poo bums on it. My husband and I are childish. I love the smell. It's like a very sweet lavender smell. It's meant to sort of help put you to sleep, but I don't really need any help there. I love the smell of it. And then I found that they do this, which is a body spray in the same smell, and this is so strong. I use this as perfume. I literally do a spray there, sort of half a spray even. I just kind of barely touch the trigger there, and one here, and that is perfume for the whole day. Love it. I also have the shower gel, and they do a bath bomb. This is overtaken Snow Fairy in how much I love it. In fact, this year I didn't buy any Snow Fairy shower gel. I bought Twilight and Rose Jam because, you know, Rose Jam is amazing. I'm looking all over the place, so I'm like, where am I going to put this? Down here. this is one of my favourites too that I'm drinking. Califia Farms cold brew. So good. The black and white bottle, if you don't like sweetened stuff, is unsweetened, and oh, it's good. Right, a couple more skincare things. Eden Perfumes, not new to me, but this one is number 15, which is their dupe for J'adore. This lasts all day on me. I also have a dupe for Coco from Chanel, and that also lasts all day. And I have the dupe for Pure Poison by Dior and Flower Bomb by Viktor & Rolf. Those are amazing, but they don't last quite as long as this one or the Chanel dupe. So I think that kind of happens to me with perfume though. I've got some perfumes left from before I went cruelty free because they really last forever. And they last all day. And then I've got others like the Kat Von D one, Saint. I have that, spray that, it's gone by lunchtime. That's just maybe something to do with my body chemistry, I don't know. But yeah, Eden Perfumes, couldn't do a favourites video for the year without them in. Right, and then my last skincare one, is it my last one? Yes, I think it is. Are these body butters from Superdrug. Super cheap, but I love them. This one is the Cherry and Macadamia, which is so sweet, that lovely sweet fake cherry smell that I love. And this one is Salted Caramel, which is not quite as strong, and it reminds me of one that the Body Shop used to do. I don't know if they still do it, but it smells so nice. But I love these butters. They're really moisturising, but they don't feel greasy and heavy, and they rub in really nice and quick, and you're not feeling all sticky. So they're good for morning showers as well as after a bath. Okay, let's move on to makeup, and I want to start with eyeshadow palettes because I have a few. Starting with this one. This is the Holy Grail palette by Violet Voss. Honestly, if you just want a warm neutral eyeshadow palette, you can't really go wrong with this one. I know a lot of people probably look at this and go, that's boring. And yeah, it probably is a little bit, you know, there's a lot of golds and a lot of browns in there, but I love these sort of cranberry shades. And some of these golds are beautiful, and these blend really nicely. The mattes are gorgeous. I love this palette. It's about £40, I think, but for, what do you get? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. For 20 eyeshadows, I don't think that's bad at all, especially when they're as good a quality as this one, and it's got a massive mirror. So that is definitely... Remember to turtle, Sal. That's definitely a goodie. My next favourites are Juvia's Place. This is the first one I got. This is the Nubian 2. I also now have the Zulu palette, which is what I used on my eyes today, and I filmed this look, so stay tuned for that. And I also have the Magic palette, which I got off my mum for Christmas. So I'm really excited. Haven't tried that yet, but this is it. I have filmed a video on this before, which I haven't put up yet. But I will, I promise. And I used some of these colours on Christmas Day, and oh, it's just, I absolutely love this palette. It's beautiful. The shimmers, they're so amazing. They're so shimmery. I mean, what else can I say? They're so vibrant. You really only need to tap your brush in them so lightly. When I first got this, I really struggled blending the mattes, and I think it's because I was just putting my brush in and putting so much on, but they're so pigmented you don't need to do that. And this colour, Zuri, this is one of my favourite colours. I know it looks like the most blah, boring colour ever, but it is the most beautiful highlight shade. I have it on the inner corner of my eye today. It's just stunning. It's just such a beautiful palette. I need a wipe. 2 more eyeshadow palettes. This one is an expensive one. This is the Instant Eye palette from Charlotte Tilbury. I've got one other of her eyeshadow palettes, one of the small quads, and it's nice, but for the price of it, I don't really think it's worth it. However, this one I do think is worth the price of it. It is a very neutral palette with some warm shades, some cool shades, and some glitters. It's got a decent-ish black, But it's just such a lovely palette. If you want a luxury eyeshadow palette that isn't too bold and crazy, this is a really nice one. I love, especially this sort of shittery. I love this glittery shade, it's beautiful, but this is just a really nice palette. For how expensive it is, it's quite plasticky, which is possibly a bit annoying, but it does have quite a nice big mirror along there, and it's quite compact and thin, so it would be okay for travel. Although, to be honest, I probably wouldn't travel with this, because the last time I travelled, some of my eyeshadows smashed, and I would be absolutely devastated if this smashed, because it's not a particularly cheap palette to replace. So, but anyway, if you or anybody you know would like a nice luxury palette, that is a good one. My last palette that I want to talk about today is the Makeup Revolution Soph palette. I have mentioned this before, I'm sure, but I love this palette. I love it. I think this is the best one that I have from Makeup Revolution. It's got gorgeous colours. This green is beautiful, this purple is beautiful, it's really pigmented, the mattes blend really nicely. This copper is gorgeous, these two golds are beautiful. I don't have anything bad to say. Oh, and the black, the matte black is super pigmented. Like, I'm just gonna very lightly touch it. It's really good black, and quite often in drugstore palettes the black is not worth being in there, but it's really good. So I love this palette. This became my everyday palette since I've had it. You can do bright colourful looks with it, you can do very neutral looks. I think it's fabulous. And ever since Makeup Revolution started marking their vegan items on their website, basically the first thing I did when I found that out was went and ordered this palette. I love this palette, and I love it so much I'm going to give one away. I bought an extra one. I do not get free things. I do not have enough followers to get free things. Maybe now and again the odd thing gets sent to me, but for the most part, if I'm giving something away, I've bought it, and I have bought another one of these to give away. So if you want to win this palette, just stay tuned to the end and I'll tell you how you can get your hands on one if you don't want to go to Superdrug and buy it. My next favourite for 2017 is the RCMA No Colour Powder. Everyone's been banging on about this stuff for years, so I thought I'll give it a go. The other one people tend to bang on about is this one from Charlotte Tilbury, which is the Airbrush Flawless Finish. I don't like this powder. It's really expensive, and I think I can see it on my skin and it looks quite powdery. I know everyone's always saying it's like super finely milled, it's beautiful. I don't know. I don't get on with it like I get on with this. This is my favourite by far. As everyone who's ever used this and talked about it will say, the packaging is shite. I bought this little sifter jar from Amazon for like £8 and it's really good, and I just stick that in there. But I've had this going for months and you can see I've barely made a dent in this, so this is going to last a really long time. And also I have a second one for my Pro Kit because I love it. I love it that much. It's brilliant. If you are looking for a new powder, give it a try. It's so good. I've got more Charlotte Tilbury stuff to talk about, and I know they're a pricey brand and I'm generally more of a drugstore makeup kind of girl, but I have found a few really nice Charlotte Tilbury things this year. One of them is this foundation. This is the Light Wonder foundation. I wore this on my wedding day. It's just it is glowy and beautiful, and it's not too much coverage, which I like because I'm old and I have dry skin, and anything too heavy just sits in all my fine lines and in my pores and makes me look drier and older and horrible. This is beautiful. It's expensive, but it's beautiful. I do have cheaper foundations to talk about, which I'll come on to in a minute, but if you want, you know, a bit of luxury that's a nice one. The other things I loved were the beauty ones. So this is the contour and the highlight one. This is the most beautiful contour. This is the most beautiful highlight. The packaging for this sucks. You can see I've just opened it and a shit ton has come off. But if I take a little bit of it, you can see, hopefully, how sheeny and gorgeous it is. And then we've also got the contour. Now, I'm not really someone who contours, but this is the perfect contour slash bronzery shade, and it blends so nicely. Again, I'm going to echo what pretty much everyone I've seen talk about these. What they say is that they hate the packaging, the product is beautiful. I agree, the packaging sucks, but the product, it is lovely. And my last Charlotte Tilbury item that I fell for this year are the lipsticks. They just look so luxe and I love them. So again, I wore one of these on my wedding day. You know, if you're going to wear expensive makeup, that's the day to do it. I wore Kim KW on my wedding day, which is just a lovely sort of neutral peachy pink. It's really nice. But my other favourite one is this, which is Red Carpet Red. Oh, it's just the most beautiful matte red. I love it. And on top of that lipstick, on top of that Kim KW lipstick, I wore the Jouer High Pigment Gloss in PCH. I really like these. I've got a couple of these. I discovered the Jouer lip products this year, and I really like the lip toppers. This one is Skinny Dip. Oh, this is so amazing. Wait, will it show up? Oh. If you like a metallic lip, and I for one, you know, especially the 90s teenager in me, is super glad that they've become trendy again, because I'm over the matte lips. If you like a metallic lip, you're going to like those toppers. And speaking of metallic lips, my next favourite, Makeup Geek foiled lip glosses. VIP is my absolute favourite, but I have 4 shades. I have Set List, Groupie, Replay, and I love them all. They're beautiful. I love how shiny they are, how metallic they are. I love a metallic lip. You can't go wrong with these. They're beautiful, and they're quite long lasting for a lip gloss too, because they're quite thick and pigmented. Not all of them are vegan, so as with all Makeup Geek products, check their FAQ. They do give you a list of which shades are vegan. One of the products I rediscovered this year, probably towards the end of this year, is the Freedom Brow Powder Duo. I used to use this one, which is soft brown, but I've switched to ash brown because my eyebrows pull really warm and I don't like it. So I love ash brown because it's really, really ashy. So this is my everyday brow powder. I sometimes use a pencil on top. I really like the Anastasia. That's not Anastasia. My favourite pencil is the Anastasia Brow Wiz. At the moment I have soft brown, which is a bit too warm for me, but my cooler shade one got absolutely mullered when I was coming home from honeymoon because my perfume leaked. But these two in combination are my current favourite brow products, and I set them with soap. And if you do a search for soap brows, you might find the Pixie Woo video about it. But trying to find a vegan clear glycerin soap was really hard, and I finally found this one from Waitrose's Pure range, and honestly I've been using this for months and I've barely made a dent in it. But literally all I do is I spray it with a little bit of toner or water, rub my spoolie in, and I use that as brow gel, and it is the strongest brow gel ever. My brows stay upwards all day. Highlighter. My favourite highlighter of all time is the Mary Luminizer by The Balm, but I got this for Christmas last year, and it's been a favourite this year. First of all, it's massive. Look how big it is, and it's got a massive mirror. But this is the Skin Kiss highlighter from Makeup Revolution. They've changed it now. It's still this big, but it now has an open front like that, plastic front like that. But this shade is Ice Kiss. It's so pretty. If I do a little swatch, it's similar toned to the Mary Luminizer, which is this one, but it's a little bit lighter and a bit less champagne-y. But it's just beautiful. It is just such a lovely highlighter. I also have the champagne one, but this is my favourite. This is a bit more goldy. So I mentioned earlier that I'm giving away the Soph palette. I'm also giving away this highlighter because I bought another one of these because I love it. So I'm giving that away to you too. Okay, and more affordable foundation options. The Ordinary. I have both the serum foundation and the coverage foundation. I meant to buy the serum foundation. I bought the coverage foundation by mistake and actually don't hate it. Sorry, just moving my camera a bit because it's a bit wonky. I don't hate the coverage foundation, so I wear this generally on nights out because it gives me a little more coverage. This is more of an everyday one for me, this serum foundation. There's a ton of shades. This is the lightest yellow base shade. It's 1.2Y and it is just a touch too dark for me. So I also bought the lightest neutral shade, which is 1.0N, to mix in for when I don't have a tan. My honeymoon / summer tan is pretty much faded now, so I'm back to winter colours. So I'm going to have to start mixing these, but I really like these. And also from The Ordinary, they're primers. Now, as I said earlier, one second. Now I think I mentioned earlier that I don't really put a lot of stock into primers. They don't really do that much for me. However, this one's pretty nice. This is the High Adherence Silicone Primer. It feels very similar to me to the Hourglass one, which I do actually like, and I sometimes put a little bit here, and I do think it does help improve the appearance of my pores a little bit. I don't really think it makes much difference with the longevity of my makeup though. And the other one I've got is the High Spreadability Fluid Primer, and I bought this specifically to go under thicker foundations to try and make them a bit less claggy and drying looking on my skin. So this is a super liquidy primer. It's smooth, it's very silicone-y. What I will say about this is it does work. I haven't tried it with anything really heavy yet, like the Kat Von D, because I do have that foundation in a completely wrong shade for me. I need to try it with that, I think. But what I will say is if you have quite an oily foundation or concealer, this does not work with it. I've tried it with what concealer was I wearing? I think I was wearing the Nip and Fab concealer, and it looked really bad on top of that. It looked like it had all separated and it really looked quite horrible. So it's a little bit of trial and error as to what foundations it's going to work with, as to whether or not you like it. Shape Tape concealer. I didn't know whether to put this in because I have a bit of a love-hate with it. Like, I love the coverage of it, but it's so drying that I have to make sure that I'm super duper hydrated or it looks goddamn awful. Related to this is a skincare item that I completely forgot to put in the video earlier, and it's these hydrating gel patches from Superdrug. These quite often are on a 3 for 2 and they're something like £1 each. And you just pop them underneath your eye, and if I've got loads of time to do my makeup from going out or something, I'll put these on while I'm doing my eye makeup, and then they really like hydrate your under eyes, and I find this goes on a lot nicer when I have time to do this, because it really gives you that extra hydration. And in fact, Simon just bought me for Christmas a pack of the Skin Iceland ones, which are a lot more expensive than the Superdrug ones, so I need to try those out. But the Superdrug ones are a really good affordable option. But yeah, this is a really good concealer for the coverage. I actually really like the giant fat doe foot applicator. I didn't think I was going to like this because it is so thick, but it's one of those concealers where you literally dot on the tiniest amount, otherwise on my dry skin it looks god awful. It's getting really dark, so I'm going to bugger off. But before I do, I'm going to tell you about the giveaway. So like I said, I'm giving away the Soph palette and the Ice Kiss Skin Kiss highlighter from Makeup Revolution. If you want to get your hands on them, all you have to do is be subscribed to this channel, leave me a comment and tell me what your favourite product of 2017 was. And if there's more than one, I'm okay with that. Just tell me what they are. And if you have a blog or a YouTube channel or anything like that, leave me a link to it, because I'd love to read it. And if you've done a favourites post, link me to that, because I love seeing what everyone else has loved this year. Yeah, so that's it. Thank you so much for watching. If you've made it this far, I'm guessing this is going to be a long one. Please give it a thumbs up and subscribe, enter the giveaway, share it so more people enter the giveaway, and yeah, I will see you soon.